So these Ugandan Ankole cows are majorly known, or they are majorly famous for their massive horns. They are, of course, they are called the Ankole cows because, you know, they majorly originate from the western area. So they are known for their heritage, for their culture, resilience, and they do have very many provisions. They provide milk, they provide meat, culture pride. Modern ranching has proven to challenge their survival. We do have these cows. They're very, very much famous. Leaders from different countries have been able to appreciate them. And then I remember, you know, one of the major reasons, one thing I know about these longhorned cows is I remember there was a time the president talked about them and said that these longhorns, they do have they are for adaptability. They help them to cool off majorly in times of heat, when there is a lot of heat. That these longhorns do have they have dense blood vessels, so blood is always able to, you know, flow through the horns, you know, since they are closer to the outer surface, and then hot, you know, blood that's really very much warm is able to pass through, then it gets cooler, then the cooler blood returns to the body. So they are very much that's one of their, you know, the adaptability. But these longhorned cows are very much massive. They have massive horns, and they are very much popular for their beautiful horns. So, and then they're called long cows of Ankole, though we've had them actually in very many, even in South Africa, we've seen these cows there, you know. But what majorly, what's the origination of these long-horned cows of Ankole? Could it just be when it was just Ankole, or, you know, they have more reason, or they have deeper roots to their origin?
Yeah, for each and every society in Africa, maybe in Uganda as well, there were specific animals that they were having. So they are specifically known definitely in Uganda. The Ankole people stand out, you know, they really, really stand out as one of the biggest societies that keeps them around. Actually, my first time to visit Ankole, I was given 6 of them, but I didn't pick them up because around Kageti, I think Kageti is before Mbara.
So you left them there?
Yeah, I went with a friend. We went in a Sienta, you know, this small car. So we're given some, you know, birds, we're given matoke, we're given goats, and I was given 6 of them. That was 2020, after the lockdown.
That means are they still there in existence?
Yeah, they're still. I know why you're asking me now.
Yes, because I want a cow. Yes, because I know they are valuable.
So yeah, they are there, and those people are real. When someone gives you a cow, they certainly going to, you know, keep it for you. So I think I should call someone after.
Yes, exactly. We can start there for Easter.
Yeah. A girlfriend to a friend had lost a dad, so we went there for, you know, paying our last tributes to the dad because he was buried during lockdown, so we need to go. So we went to, you know, pay our tributes to the fallen dad, and then they were like, okay, we need to give you something, and I was given 6, and I was like, okay. So we were in the center. But definitely, these cows have a lot of cultural values. Actually, they are very common in so many African countries, but of course, specifically in Ankole, they stand out to be a little bit. Now, in so many ways, Africans show respect, and our culture has a lot of symbolism in that. That's why some of the greatest fighters on the African continent were in a position to come up with what called the cow-only system of fighting. One of the greatest, one of them is Shaka Zulu. He was in position to study the cows and then their horns, and then he was in position to develop a system that would fight the invaders using that very system. So they are very practical. People so much take a lot of pride in them, and there is a specific way of seeing a kid that will be good after looking at cattle. You know what they do? So they have what called the flies. When someone's given milk, to take it and to take it maybe to a center, when they don't come back with flies, they know that animals don't like you. When you come back and then flies around you, they know, oh, there is a good relationship. Yeah, it sounds a little bit pseudo, but there is some serious science around there. So these guys' livelihood is about cattle and cows. They look after them, they love them. It's a little bit, you know, when you don't have cattle, when you don't have those cows, in most of those areas, you're not respected.
That's how they value their wealth.
Yeah, and they also have specific hats they put on, and that hat should be a resemblance or representation of how many cows you have. When you have like 10 cows, you don't just put on that hat. You must be having several of them. So when they see you with that hat, they're like, hey, you have 1,000. Okay, that's good. That's why even one of the biggest people here was like, let me get a coffee. Because he was not getting respected there. Now he was also positioned to put up a very big farm there, maybe around Gomba and some areas. And after that, they were like, okay, now we can appreciate you that you're a good man to lead us.
Yeah,
I think that was a good measure of manhood. You just can't become a leader and you don't even have
you
a
have to
pig.
have at least couch or couch. I don't know
Yeah.
where you belong. So that
Yeah,
and that kind
you
of
don't have a
belonging is
bird, you
very.
don't have an animal, you don't have a house.
It's okay. Let's not go there.
No. But that's the African responsibility. That
You
we
know,
used to
when you
have.
say that, you're targeting a lot of Ugandans who do not have stuffed Adams. So that's why I said,
But we have them in our villages just because we don't want to be there. Yeah, people have them. Yeah, people have cows just because we prefer to be around in the congested places like Kampala.
I do not have one. I for one. That's why I'm saying you the table you're shaking has many drinks.
Yeah, I'm talking about men.
Oh, but woman is man. Like we are all termed
No,
as
please don't
as
do
man.
that. Don't do that. You know what I'm talking about.
But we are one. It's still talking about what you always talk about unity. Woman and man always have to act in unison. And then right now, when it comes to wealth, you want to draw a line.
No, the line is already there, but of course we are trying to make it shrink. But I'm not talking about it in a segregative approach. I'm talking about how manhood was a little bit respected back in the days. Like if you're a man, when you have cattle, and by the way, different characters had that, and that was a true measure of manhood. Actually, in specific areas like Toro, you could not even go and take someone's daughter without having that. Nowadays, people just get married because they met at Cafe Java's.
Yeah.
You don't even know if someone has anything to look after you. So you can't take someone's daughter if you don't have the cows.
Well, because love is supposed to be genuine now. You don't have to look at someone's background and it's there because I have it. I have a lot of it.
Did you just say you have genuine love?
But we talk. Yes, I do have genuine love. But that's our edition for New Day today.